What is important is to find out whether there is only thinking, not the thinker and the thought. And so the thinker controlling thought. So there is only thinking. You understand? Whether you think about bootlaces or about God or about your wife or about some future happiness, whatever it is still thinking. So we are concerned not with how to control thought, but what is the whole process of thinking. Now, if one is aware of all that, then there is only thinking. You understand? Not the thought which is wandering and the controller which says, I must control it. So there is only thinking. Why should it stop? You understand? If there is only thinking, why should it stop? So, thinking is a movement, isn't it? Thinking is a movement. Movement in time. From here to there and so on. Thinking is a movement as time. Now, can that time come to an end? That is the question, not how to stop thinking. Have you understood my question first? We have laid emphasis in meditation, people have, the gurus and all the rest of the group, have laid emphasis on control. Where there is control, there must be effort. There must be conflict. There must be suppression. And where there is suppression, there are all kinds of neurotic behavior and so on, so on, so on. So is it possible, please listen, is it possible to live without any control? You understand? Which doesn't mean to do what you like, be completely permissive. You understand? We are asking much more serious question, which is, can, in your daily life, psychologically, can you live without any control whatsoever? You can. We have done it. I am not, please, this is a very, very serious thing, because we don't know a life in which there is no shadow of control. We all know only control. So to understand that, a life without control, one must go into it very, very deeply. That is, control exists where there is comparison. I compare myself with you, and I want to be like you, because you are more intelligent, more bright, more spiritual, God knows what else. So I want to be like you. So I make an effort to be like you. If there is no comparison whatsoever psychologically, what takes place? I am what I am. I don't know what I am, but I am that. There is no movement towards something which I think is more. So what takes place? When there is no comparison, what has taken place? Am I dull because I have compared myself with you who are clever, bright, and therefore I become dull, or the very word dull makes me dull. You understand meaning? You okay? I wonder if you understand all this. You know, when we go to a museum, we look at various pictures and we say, we compare Michelangelo, various artists, and say this better than that. We are traditionally trained that way. In the school we are saying you must be better than A. And you struggle to be A. And college examinations and the whole movement of that is comparison. Make effort. Now we are saying, when you understand the movement of measurement, and when you see the unreality of it psychologically, then you have what is. You understand? You have exactly what is. You can only meet what is when you have energy. That energy has been dissipated in comparison. Right? So now you have that energy to observe what is, to observe the now with that energy. Therefore, what is now undergoes a radical transformation. So, thought has divided itself as the controller and the controlled. But there is only thinking. There is no controller or the control, but only the act of thinking. Thinking is a movement in time as measure. And can that naturally, easily, without any control, come to an end? You understand my question? When I make an effort to bring it to an end, thinking is still in operation. I've deceived myself by saying the thinker is different from the thought. So my question is entirely different, which is, there is only thinking. The thinker is the thought. There is no thinker if there is no thought. And therefore, can this thinking, which is a movement in time, come to an end? Which is, can time have a stop?